My esteemed brother and sister judges, Learned Advocate General, Learned Additional Advocates General, Learned Deputy Solicitor General of India, Chairman Bar Council of Kerala, President of the Kerala High Court Senior Advocates Association, Vice President of the Kerala High Courts Association, President of the Kerala Federation of Women Lawyers, law officers of the central and state governments, my respective senior advocates, members of the bar, officers and staff of the registry, office bearers of the Advocates Clerks Association. We have assembled here to mourn the sad demise of Honorable Justice Thottathil Radhakrishnan, former judge and acting Chief Justice of this court, former Chief Justice of High Courts of Calcutta, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and Chhattisgarh, who left us for a heavenly abode on 3/4/2023. Justice Radhakrishnan was born on 29th April 1959 at Kollam in Kerala. His parents, late N. Bhaskaran Nair and late Parukutti Amma, were practicing lawyers, then leaders of the bar. He graduated from Fatima National College, Kollam, and eventually obtained the degree of Bachelor of Law from KGF Law College, Kolar Goldfields, Karnataka. He entered the legal profession on 11/12/83 and began his career at Thiruvananthapuram under the tutelage of a senior lawyer, late P. Radhakrishnan Pillai. For 5 years of practice at Thiruvananthapuram, he shifted his practice to Kerala High Court as a junior to a senior advocate, late P. Sukumaran Nair, and practiced in all branches of law. And the areas of prominent practice were civil, constitutional, and administrative law. After practicing as a lawyer for more than 21 years, on 14th October 2004, he was appointed as permanent judge of the Kerala High Court. He was acting Chief Justice of this court for 2 brief terms. The first term from 13/5/2016 to 1/8/2016, and the second term from 6/2/2017 till his elevation as Chief Justice of the Chhattisgarh High Court on March 18, 2017. He was transferred as the Chief Justice of the High Court of Judicature at Hyderabad, the states of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and was sworn in as Chief Justice on 7/7/2018. Thereafter, on 1st January 2019, he was appointed as the first Chief Justice of Telangana High Court. Justice Radhakrishnan was sworn in as the Chief Justice of the Calcutta High Court on 4th April 2019 and continued there until his retirement on attaining the age of superannuation on 29th April 2021. After his retirement, the Honorable Supreme Court appointed Justice Thottathil Radhakrishnan as an inquiry authority to fix the culpability regarding the illegal construction of some apartments in Marudu, which were raised down for violating coastal regulation zone regulations in 2022. Later, he headed an expert panel constituted by the state government to oversee the field verification report on the subsisting structures in the buffer zones for the protected areas of Kerala. Justice Radhakrishnan had served with distinction as the President of the Rule Committee constituted under the Civil Procedure Code, Chairman of the Law Reporting Council, President of the Board of Governors, State Mediation and Conciliation Center, President of the Kerala Judicial Academy, Executive Chairman of the Kerala State Legal Service Authority, and Executive Chairman of Lakshadweep State Legal Service Authority. Apart from the above, Justice Radhakrishnan was a resource person in the National Academy at Bhopal and Kerala Judicial Academy. I'm informed ILR Kerala series today is mainly because of the sincere efforts of Justice Radhakrishnan, because of his vision and unrelenting efforts. State of Kerala had achieved a steady progress in mediation. Kerala Judicial Academy became an institution of excellence under his able leadership. As far as Kerala State Legal Service Authority is concerned, as its executive chairman, Justice Radhakrishnan had given dynamic leadership to many innovative activities of Kerala. His vision in using legal services mechanism for the benefit of the weaker in the marginalized sections of the society is greatly commendable. Recognizing his human services, the central government had nominated him to the National Legal Services Authority. He was instrumental in framing several schemes and programs for NALSA, especially the scheme for the mentally ill and mentally disabled persons in 2015. The scheme launched by KALSA for aid to the socio-economically challenged dependents of convicts was his brainchild. Justice Radhakrishnan's parents were in the forefront of social activities as well. And indeed, such a background has helped him to inculcate the essential values in social commitment. Studious and sagacious, his judgments reflect not only his deep learning, but also his yearning to do justice wherever possible, to wipe out the tears of the oppressed common man. Thus, during this lifetime, he had cared for the weaker section of the society, women and children, cared for the ecology and environment, judicial fraternity, and thus he was a great human being. On the occasion, I wish to quote the words of then learned Advocate General at the farewell function held on March 13th, 2017, in honor of Justice Thottathil Radhakrishnan on his appointment as the Chief Justice of Chhattisgarh High Court. I am not attempting to chronicle the landmark judgments of His Lordship has rendered, for there are many and several of them law-laying. They exhibit in abundance the rare insights, the intellectual erudition, the legal acumen, an exceptionally analytical mind that have gone into the making of a great judge, befitting the veneration not only of the contemporary society, but even generations yet to come. The memorable judgments, unique in themselves, the depth of learning and width of vision, exhibits the awareness of the judge, the cultural values and comprehensions of the social needs. They will ever remain not only in the pages of the law journals, but engraved on the walls of time. His Lordship's judgments stand out for their intellectual ingenuity and perfect legal analysis. During the course of interpreting laws and dispensing justice, especially in the fields of constitutional law and human rights, the creation and perfection of India as a welfare state, aimed at achieving the noble objectives enshrined in the Constitution, have always been a matter of anxious consideration and of prime importance for His Lordship. In achieving this, even the retelling of some of the myths of a culture has been attempted. In the field of gender justice, elimination of discrimination based on caste and religion, in the matters dealing with ecology and environment, in matters of elimination of poverty and equality, etc. Very often, His Lordship traverses away from the trodden path to make the constitutional goals meaningful. Efforts in expanding the horizons of law, jurisprudence, in order to achieve the requirement of meting out justice to all, irrespective of whether they are rich or poor, privileged or underprivileged, have always been His Lordship concern. End quote. To me personally, as the head of the Tamil Nadu State Judicial Academy, I had requested our beloved Honorable Justice Thottathil Radhakrishnan to address the officers in Tamil Nadu, which he readily agreed. It was really a wonderful and memorable experience of sharing his wide knowledge on various subjects. A month ago, I invited him for my daughter's marriage. He was very keen in attending the event. Unfortunately, my family missed the presence of this great judge. Justice Radhakrishnan is survived by his wife, Srimati Meera Radhakrishnan, daughter Srimati Parvati Nair, and son Mr. Keshavraj Nair, who are also lawyers by profession. Along with the bereaved, we deeply mourn the sad demise of Justice Thottathil Radhakrishnan. May his soul rest in peace.
Honorable the Chief Justice of High Court of Kerala, Justice S. Manikumar, Honorable Judges of High Court of Kerala, Honorable Vice President of the Kerala High Court Advocates Association, Chairman of the Bar Council of Kerala, President Kerala High Court High Court Senior Advocates Association, the President Federation of Women Lawyers Kerala High Court Unit, law officers of the state, Deputy Solicitor General, Senior Central Standing Counsel, Taxes, and other law officers of the central government, senior advocates, esteemed fellow members of the bar, Registrar General, registrars and staff of the High Court, staff of the Advocate General's office, advocate clerks, ladies and gentlemen. Losing someone is hard. Losing a loved one unexpectedly is even more challenging. Today, we have all gathered here to condole the sad and unexpected demise of His Lordship Justice Thottathil B. Radhakrishnan, who left for the heavenly abode on the early hours of yesterday, 3rd April 2023. His Lordship was seemingly young and energetic and had been enthusiastically embarking upon a second spell in lawyering, having recommenced practice at the Supreme Court. His Lordship recently completed the core entrusted to him by the Apex Court, that of inquiring about the involvement of those responsible for the illegal constructions at Merit. His Lordship had also just finished the task entrusted to him by the state government, that of leading the expert committee which conducted field studies and recorded details of residential and commercial and other structures in the buffer zones that surrounded wildlife sanctuaries and national parks, and submitted its report on the 1st of March 2023. The story was so far so good, but then loosely translating what Sri M.T. Vasudevan Nair, the iconic Malayali literature par excellence, spoke through his character Sardarji in his evergreen novel Manya. I quote, "Death is a clown having no sense of the scene being an act." His Lordship was born at Kollam on 29/4/1959 as the sole child of Sri N. Bhaskaran Nair and Srimati K. Parkuttiamma, the reputed lawyer couple of Kollam Bar. His Lordship's father, late N. Bhaskaran Nair, was a much sought after lawyer on the criminal side. Justice M. Fatima Bibi, former judge of the Supreme Court of India, and late Janardana Guru, the iconic criminal lawyer of yesteryears, years, were junior associates of His Lordship's father. His Lordship had his school education at St. Joseph's Convent, Kollam, Government Boys High School, Kollam, Arya Central School, Thiruvananthapuram, and Trinity Lyceum School, Kollam. His Lordship used to jocularly but brimming with pride say that His Lordship was a product of Kollam boys. His Lordship completed his graduation from Fatima Mata National College, Kollam. His Lordship acquired his law degree from KGF Law College, Kolar, Goldfields, Karnataka. His Lordship lost his father in his early teens, and His Lordship's mother had shifted to Thiruvananthapuram by the time he had completed his LLB and enrolled as an advocate on 11/12/1983 and started practice at the courts and district court center Thiruvananthapuram as a junior associate to Sri P. Ramakrishna Pillai, who was a leading lawyer at the Thiruvananthapuram bar. Sri P. Ramakrishna Pillai was the standing counsel for the Kerala State Electricity Board and dealt with lot of original petitions in compensation matters relating to usage of private properties for drawing of electric lines as well as arbitration matters of the board. He deemed it fit to delegate the conduct of such matters to His Lordship, who, though a novice junior lawyer newly inducted to the bar, was apparently self-confident enough to shoulder the said responsibility. His Lordship thus got ample opportunities to appear before courts in multifarious cases relating to such matters on a day-to-day basis and made the most of it. His Lordship used to come to the court after meticulous and thorough preparation of the briefs and presented the same before the court in a suave manner, in chaste English. Senior members of the Thiruvananthapuram bar were quick to note with appreciation the new, young, smart, promising junior lawyer of intellect from the office of Sri P. Ramakrishna Pillai, and this included Advocate V.G. Govindan Nair, who was a leading lawyer at the Thiruvananthapuram bar and was later appointed as the Director General of Prosecutions of the State of Kerala and State Public Prosecutor at the High Court. His Lordship Senior began entrusting His Lordship with complicated civil matters, and His Lordship soon became a name to reckon with at Thiruvananthapuram bar, that too within 3-4 years of commencement of His Lordship's practice. It was at this time that Sri P. Sukumaran Nair, a doyen of the then High Court bar, required the services of a junior associate in place of his then junior partner, Justice K. Padmanabhan Nair, who was awaiting appointment orders pursuant to his selection as a district judge directly from the bar. Advocate V.G. Govindan Nair, who incidentally was the junior associate of Sri P. Sukumaran Nair at Thiruvananthapuram, suggested the name of His Lordship to Sri P. Sukumaran Nair. Soon in late 1987, His Lordship shifted his practice to this honorable court as a junior colleague of Sri P. Sukumaran Nair. It was the beginning of a long-standing Guru-Shishya relationship. His Lordship dealt with complicated civil matters with panache. Young lawyer from Thiruvananthapuram bar, who was not even 30, deftly carved a niche for himself in this court also. His Lordship as a lawyer was never intellectually besieged by presidential law and was known for innovative, original thinking. His Lordship had a thorough knowledge of the basic constitutional legal principles, which His Lordship, while making submissions before the court, aptly applied to the facts of the list at hand. His Lordship soon became one of the most sought-after lawyers to deal with civil, constitutional, and service litigations. In 1999, His Lordship set up his independent practice. His Lordship appeared occasionally before the Apex Court also. That His Lordship's name figured in more than 10 dozens of judgments reported as judicial precedents over a period of about 17 years of practice for this honorable court speaks volumes for His Lordship's advocacy skills. On recognition of His Lordship's legal acumen, His Lordship was elevated as a permanent judge of this honorable court on 14/10/2004. His Lordship, as His Lordship was while practicing as a lawyer, was always at ease in handling with the adjudication of all types of lists that came up before him. That more than 1800 hitherto undecided principles of law were decided either by His Lordship or the benches in which His Lordship was a part of will forever stand as a towering testimony for the tremendous work put in by His Lordship in the matter of justice dispensation as a judge of this honorable court. His Lordship was a strong votary of settlement of cases through mediation, and as a judge of this honorable court had walked that extra mile of propagation of mediation as an effective tool of alternate dispute resolution mechanism. His Lordship dealt with the parents' patria jurisdiction of this Honorable Court in mental health matters in the most compassionate manner possible. A lawyer of this Honorable Court had recalled in social media as to how His Lordship, in exercise of the such jurisdiction, took the initiative for transportation to their native places of those who were cured after undergoing treatment for mental health disorders, as to how His Lordship coordinated their transport to their home states with the cooperation of railways and various state legal service authorities, and as to how His Lordship took an extra effort to see of them at the railway station while they boarded the train for their return journey. His Lordship was appointed as the Chief Justice of Chhattisgarh High Court on 17/3/2017 and continued as such till 6/7/2018. His Lordship on 7/7/2018 took oath as Chief Justice of the High Court at Hyderabad for the states of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Upon his transfer to there, on 1st of January 2019, His Lordship was appointed first Chief Justice of the newly formed High Court of Telangana. His Lordship was transferred as Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court with effect from 7th April 2019 and continued as such till His Lordship's retirement on attaining superannuation. His Lordship was also the Executive Chairman of the Kerala Legal Services Authority and the Patron-in-Chief of the Telangana and Andhra Pradesh States Legal Service Authority. His Lordship was the Chancellor of 5 national law universities as well, namely the National Academy for Legal Studies and Research, Hyderabad, the West Bengal National University for Judicial Sciences, Kolkata, the National University of Advanced Legal Studies, Kochi, the Hidayatullah National University, Raipur, and the Damodaram Sanjeevaya National Law University, Visakhapatnam. His Lordship was probably the only judge from Kerala who had served as the Chief Justice for High Courts of 4 states, inclusive of a chartered High Court, apart from being the acting Chief Justice of this Honorable Court. His Lordship spent nearly 4 years as Chief Justice of various High Courts, but for reasons none plausible, His Lordship was not elevated as a judge of the Apex Court. I can with all certainty say that it was a loss for the Supreme Court and for the evolution of the jurisprudence in our country. His Lordship is survived by his wife, Srimati Meera Sen, a retired central government servant, daughter Advocate Parvati, and son Advocate Keshavaraj. I share the grief of the family over His Lordship's bereavement and offer my condolences. My Lord was gone before we knew it and before any farewell words were spoken. My Lord might have gone too soon, but will never be forgotten. Your Lordship's memory will live on in our hearts. May your Lordship's all rest in peace.
Honorable Mr. Justice S. Manikumar, Chief Justice, High Court of Kerala. Honorable Judges of High Court of Kerala, Advocate General Sri K. Gopalakrishnan, Deputy Solicitor General Sri S. Manu, Additional Advocate General Sri K. P. Jayachandran and Sri Ashok M. Cherian, Director General of Prosecution Sri T. A. Shaji, Additional Director General of Prosecution Sri Gireshis Kuriakos, State Attorney Sri N. Manoj Kumar, Senior Advocates Association President Sri N. N. Sugunabalan, Senior Central Government Council, Standing Council for Taxes, Senior Advocate Sri P. K. Ravindranatha Menon, Chairman of the Bar Council of Kerala Sri K. N. Anil Kumar, Secretary of the Kerala High Court Advocates Association Sri T. Naveen, Srimati P. K. Shantamma, President of the Kerala Federation of Women Lawyers, respected senior lawyers, esteemed members of the Bar, Registrar General and Registrars of the Kerala High Court, law officers of the state and central government, staff of the High Court, advocates, clerks, and my dear friends. We are passing through one of the saddest moments in the history of this court while we pay tribute to Justice Thottathil B. Radhakrishnan, who has left us to his journey to the eternal world on 3/4/2023. Genius is one word that could run synonymous to the name of Sri Thottathil B. Radhakrishnan. He was a man of character, wisdom, legal acumen, and expertise. Born on 29th April 1959 to late Advocate N. Bhaskaran Nair and late Advocate K. Parakuttiamma, both of whom were lawyers who practiced in Kollam district of Kerala. A career in the legal profession was a natural choice to Sri Thottathil B. Radhakrishnan. He enrolled as an advocate in December 1983 and started practicing in Thiruvananthapuram. Later in the year 1988, he shifted his practice to this honorable court as junior to late senior advocate P. Sukumaran Nair. Within a short span of time itself, he displayed his eminence in civil, constitutional, and administrative matters. Sri Thottathil B. Radhakrishnan was a celebrated lawyer during the days of his practice, displaying immense command over the art of advocacy. He was well known for his ability to argue cases with clarity and precision, leaving a lasting impression on those who witnessed him. He infused his gifted skills into every case he worked on, which earned him the respect of the lawyer fraternity and the admiration of his clients. His thorough knowledge in constitutional jurisprudence reflected in his mastery in lawyering and later as a judge. On October 14, 2004, he was sworn in as a judge of this honorable court. He has headed various institutions and committees as a judge of this honorable court. The President of the Kerala Judicial Academy, Executive Chairman of the Kerala State Legal Services Authority, member of the Central Authority of the National Legal Services Authority are only a few among them. He served as acting Chief Justice of this High Court on two occasions. First on May 13, 2016 for a period of 3 months, and thereafter on February 2, 2017 for a period of 1 year. He has sworn in as Chief Justice of the Chhattisgarh High Court on 18/3/2017. He was later appointed as Chief Justice of the High Court of Andhra Pradesh at Hyderabad on 7/7/2017. Thereafter, on January 1, 2019, he was sworn in as the first Chief Justice of the High Court for the state of Telangana. On April 4, 2019, he was sworn in as Chief Justice of the Calcutta High Court. He retired from service on April 2021. After his retirement, Justice Thottathil B. Radhakrishnan was appointed as commission to inquire into the alleged illegalities in the construction of the buildings which were raised down in Maradu, Kochi, following order of Honorable Supreme Court. This appointment was a testament to his integrity, experience, and knowledge of law. His judgment stands as testimony to the social commitment and compassion that he had possessed towards other living beings. In the case of Sandhya Kurumtottikal versus State of Kerala, he has invoked Section 34 of the Prevention of Cruelty to Animal Act 1960 so as to prevent the barbaric treatment meted out to the animals in Sabarimala. In the case of State of Kerala versus Shanta and another, his lordship examined the tortious liability arising out of the doctors of government hospitals on failed sterilization operations and held that the state has a constitutional responsibility to support the victims of the operations. Justice Thottathil B. Radhakrishnan had gained certain rare feats during his judicial career. He was probably the only Chief Justice from Kerala who has served in 5 high courts across India. During his tenure as Chief Justice of this court, he had opportunity to become the Chancellor of 5 leading national law universities in India. Apart from his impressive career achievements, Justice Thottathil B. Radhakrishnan was also known for his immense mastery over the language and the sound reasoning, which he demonstrated both inside and outside the courtrooms. More than 900 reported judgments that he had authored stands as testimony to the impeccable command over the language that he has possessed and the surgical precision with which he applied law and reasoning. He had remarkable grasping power, allowing him to quickly understand complex questions, legal issues, and master the proceedings of the court. Boldness and fearlessness were the trademark of Justice Thottathil B. Radhakrishnan when it came to making decisions. He never allowed technicalities to stand in the way of justice. He firmly believed in using his discretion in matters that required thoughtful consideration, and he always did so to the best of his abilities. He was highly respected for his commitment to upholding the honor of the system. His exceptional memory enabled him to remember people and maintain personal relationships, which earned him respect and admiration of his colleagues and peers in the legal fraternity. These qualities contributed to his success as a lawyer and then as a judge and made him a highly respected figure in Indian judiciary. Justice Thottathil B. Radhakrishnan held a deep reverence for the Indian values and traditions and was committed to upholding them in his personal and professional life. His unwavering commitment to the concept of dharma was a guiding force in his decision-making and actions, both on and off the bench. His legacy, integrity, compassion, and commitment to justice will continue to inspire generations to come. Justice Thottathil B. Radhakrishnan always strived to use the best of his abilities in upholding the honor of the judicial system. He firmly believed in the importance of justice and fairness and worked tirelessly to ensure that these values were upheld. He was a strong advocate for the rule of law and believed in the power of the judicial system to make positive impact in the society. His unwavering commitment to justice will always be remembered and serve as an inspiration to those who follow his footsteps. Justice Thottathil B. Radhakrishnan will always be remembered for his legal acumen, his dedication to justice, and his significant contributions to the field of law. He was an exemplary figure in the legal profession, and his contribution to the society will always be remembered. His demise is a great loss to the legal fraternity and the nation. This is also an occasion to introspect. We must reflect on whether our system allowed Justice Radhakrishnan to reach the full potential. If his judicial career had been allowed to progress naturally, it could have reached even greater heights. However, for reasons known only to a few, Justice Thottathil B. Radhakrishnan's career came to an end, leaving a sense of loss among those who admired him the most. The loss was, in fact, a loss for the justice dispensation system as a whole. Justice Thottathil B. Radhakrishnan is survived by his wife, Ms. Meera Sen, his son, Advocate Keshavaraj, and daughter Parvati Nair, and daughter-in-law, Advocate Gadha Suresh. As a reward to the dedication and commitment that Sri Thottathil B. Radhakrishnan possessed towards the legal fraternity, his son, daughter, and daughter-in-law have followed his footsteps into the legal profession. It is with deep sorrow that we offer our condolences to the family members of Justice Thottathil B. Radhakrishnan. The loss of a loved one is never easy, and we understand that this must be a difficult time for them. It's our hope that family will find comfort in the cherished memories they shared with him. Our thoughts and prayers are with them. Justice Thottathil B. Radhakrishnan has left us forever, leaving behind a profound legacy of mesmerizing wisdom and cherished memories that will always be remembered. May I take this opportunity to request Your Lordship, the Honorable Chief Justice of Kerala, to direct the registry of this court to convey our heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family. May his soul rest in peace.
As a mark of respect to the departed soul, shall now stand in silence for 2 minutes. The registry shall convey the condolence message of the bar and the bench to the members of the bereaved family. The judicial work of the High Court shall stand suspended till 11 a.m. today.